The American dream beckons people to spend their lives on trivial diversions, slipping through life caught up with seeking success, comfort, and pleasure above all else. But God designed people for far more than this. In this best-selling book, John Piper makes a passionate plea to the next generation to avoid the dangers of a wasted life, calling us to take risks and make sacrifices that matter for eternity, with a single, soul-satisfying passion for the glory of God that seeks to make much of Him in every sphere of our lives. Piper's thundering message and clarion call pierce the layers of nonsense that clutter our hearts and lives, mesmerizing and distracting us all from what matters most. Don't waste your life as a passionate and magnetic plea, drawing a generation back from the brink of irrelevant living, propelling them toward lives filled with the wonder of God. Here are best quotes from Don't Waste Your Life of John Piper sermon. All heroes are shadows of Christ. It is about the greatness of God, not the significance of man. God made man small and the universe big to say something about Himself. Desire that your life count for something great. Long for your life to have eternal significance. Want this. Don't coast through life without a passion. I am wired by nature to love the same toys that the world loves. I start to fit in. I start to love what others love. I start to call Earth home. Before you know it, I am calling luxuries needs and using my money just the way unbelievers do. I begin to forget the war. I don't think much about people perishing. Missions and unreached people drop out of my mind. I stop dreaming about the triumphs of grace. I sink into a secular mindset that looks first to what man can do, not what God can do. It is a terrible sickness. And I thank God for those who have forced me again and again toward a wartime mindset. The really wonderful moments of joy in this world are not the moments of self-satisfaction, but self-forgetfulness. Standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon and contemplating your own greatness is pathological. At such moments we are made for a magnificent joy that comes from outside ourselves. He is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in Him. But whatever you do, find the God-centered, Christ-exalting, Bible-saturated passion of your life, and find your way to say it and live for it and die for it. And you will make a difference that lasts. You will not waste your life. My joy grows with every soul that seeks the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. Remember, you have one life. That's all. You were made for God. Don't waste it. God created me, and you, to live with a single, all-embracing, all-transforming passion, namely, a passion to glorify God by enjoying and displaying His supreme excellence in all the spheres of life. America is the first culture in jeopardy of amusing itself to death. Life is wasted if we do not grasp the glory of the cross, cherish it for the treasure that it is, and cleave to it as the highest price of every pleasure and the deepest comfort in every pain. What was once foolishness to us, a crucified God, must become our wisdom and our power and our only boast in this world. I will not waste my life. I will finish my course and finish it well. I will display the gospel of the grace of God in all I do. I will run my race to the end. Paul, he shook my dozing soul and threw the cold water of reality in my face, so that life and God and heaven and hell broke into my world with glory and horror. On C.S. Lewis, God without Christ is no God. You get one pass at life. That's all. Only one. And the lasting measure of that life is Jesus Christ. You don't have to know a lot of things for your life to make a lasting difference in the world. But you do have to know the few great things that matter, perhaps just one, and then be willing to live for them and die for them. The people that make a durable difference in the world are not the people who have mastered many things, but who have been mastered by one great thing. The answer, my friend, is not yours to invent or create. It will be decided for you. It is outside you. It is real and objective and firm. One day you will hear it. You don't create it. You don't define it. It comes to you, and sooner or later you conform to it, or bow to it. He has made me wary of chronological snobbery. That is, He showed me that newness is no virtue and oldness is no vice. Truth and beauty and goodness are not determined by when they exist. Nothing is inferior for being old, and nothing is valuable for being modern. This has freed me from the tyranny of novelty and opened for me the wisdom of the ages. Don't be surprised. There is nothing new under the sun. Only endless repackagings. Your mind was made to know and love God. God will not turn away from doing you good. He will keep on doing good. He doesn't do good to his children sometimes and bad to them other times. He keeps on doing good, and he never will stop doing good for 10,000 ages of ages. When things are going bad, that does not mean God has stopped doing good. It means he is shifting things around to get them in place for more good, if you will go on loving him. It was becoming clearer and clearer that if I wanted to come to the end of my life and not say, I've wasted it, then I would need to press all the way in, and all the way up, to the ultimate purpose of God and join him in it. If my life was to have a single, all-satisfying, unifying passion, it would have to be God's passion. America today is a save-yourself society if there ever was one. But does it really work? The underdeveloped societies suffer from one set of diseases: tuberculosis, malnutrition, pneumonia, parasites, typhoid, cholera, typhus, etc. Affluent America has virtually invented a whole new set of diseases: obesity, arteriosclerosis, heart disease, strokes, lung cancer, venereal disease, cirrhosis of the liver, drug addiction, alcoholism, divorce, battered children, suicide, murder. Take your choice. Labor-saving machines have turned out to be body-killing devices. Our affluence has allowed both mobility and isolation of the nuclear family, and as a result, our divorce courts, our prisons and our mental institutions are flooded. In saving ourselves, we have nearly lost ourselves. The greatest cause in the world is joyfully rescuing people from hell, meeting their earthly needs, making them glad in God, and doing it with a kind, serious pleasure that makes Christ look like the treasure he is. God seldom calls us for an easier life, but always calls us to know more of him and drink more deeply of his sustaining grace. Why don't people ask us about our hope? The answer is probably that we look as if we hope in the same things they do. Our lives don't look like they are on the Calvary Road, stripped down for sacrificial love, serving others with the sweet assurance that we don't need to be rewarded in this life. All that looks like reality to us is dependent on God. There is creation and creator, nothing more. And creation gets all its meaning and purpose from God. The war is being fought along the line between sin and righteousness in every family. It is being fought along the line between truth and falsehood in every school. Between justice and injustice in every legislature. Between integrity and corruption in every office. Between love and hate in every ethnic group. Between pride and humility in every sport. Between the beautiful and the ugly in every art. Between right doctrine and wrong doctrine in every church. Between sloth and diligence between coffee breaks. It is not a waste to fight the battle for truth and faith and love on any of these fronts. A mind fed daily on TV diminishes. Your mind was made to know and love God. The thought of building a life around minimal morality or minimal significance, a life defined by the question, what is permissible, felt almost disgusting to me. I didn't want a minimal life. I didn't want to live on the outskirts of reality. I wanted to understand the main thing about life and pursue it.